Hello everyone, welcome to day 1 of the 10 for 10 yoga challenge. To begin today's 10-minute full body yoga class, begin on your hands and knees and move through some cat and cow postures. With each inhale you take through your nose, arch your back, spread your shoulders wide. And with each exhale, curve your spine in the opposite direction, look towards your thighs. You can incorporate your feet as well by tucking your toes on the inhale and coming back to the tops of your feet on your exhale. You can also just keep your feet still by keeping the tops of the feet flat on the floor. Continue moving now in and out of cat and cow, breathing deeply and moving along with the natural timing of your breath. Each time that you inhale and come into cow pose, spread your collarbones nice and wide, and each time that you exhale, reach that upper mid-back towards the ceiling, moving through each and every bone in your spine as you arch and curve. Make your way now into a neutral flat spine. Move your hands slightly forward and straighten your legs, coming from hands and knees into plank. As you're in plank, keep your body in one straight line all the way from the top of your head down your body to your heels. Continue to hold plank, squeezing the outer edges of your thighs in towards the center line of your body. And on your next exhale, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. In downward dog, pedal through your legs, alternate bending and straightening one leg at a time. Continue to move in your down dog, gently working through the muscles in the backs of your legs. And then slowly come to stillness and send your hips back down into a plank pose. Hold plank firmly and breathe. Feel that line from your head to your heels and squeeze everything in towards the center line of your body. Take a deep inhale, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog, once again pedaling through your legs. Continuing to add some gentle movements to your down dog, slow and smooth movements as you alternate bending and straightening. And slowly come to stillness now, sending your hips back down to plank. And from here, lower all the way onto your belly, bring the tops of your feet to the floor and point your elbows up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale and lift your head and your shoulders off the ground, using your upper back muscles. And on an exhale, lower your head back down. Do that once more. Take a deep inhale, lift your head and your shoulders off the ground. Hold here with your upper back muscles, and on an exhale, lower down. One more time, take an inhale, lift your head and your shoulders all the way up, and lower them back down. Take an exhale. On your next inhale, lift your head and your shoulders, and slowly exhale and lower your head down. Last time, coming up into your low arch. Hold here. And on your exhale, lower your head down onto the mat, tuck your toes, and make your way into a hands and knees position, bringing your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees directly under your hips. From here, straighten your left leg and reach that leg back behind you. Flex your foot, point your toes down towards the ground. When you feel stable, raise your right arm out in front of you, palm facing the center line of your body, and you'll come into a crunch, curling your knee and your elbow in towards the center and then reaching them back out. Repeat this 4 more times, crunching in and then reaching all the way out to the full extent of your leg and arm extensions. On your final crunch, extend your limbs all the way out and hold for a deep inhale and exhale. And then you'll lower everything back down onto the ground and get ready to come into the other side. Lifting your right leg all the way out behind you, flex that foot, reach your left arm out in front of you, palm facing the center, and then when you're ready, when you feel stable, you can crunch in, bringing your elbow and your knee in towards each other, and then extending them all the way back out, stretching in opposing directions from your hand to your foot. This is also a balancing pose. As you can see, I'm a little wobbly on this side for some reason. So just breathe as you continue to move, going through about 5 repetitions on the left side. Slow and smooth movements as you hold that balance using your abdominal muscles on each extension. Getting ready to take your final repetition of this movement. Hold on the final extension. Try and maintain that balance for 1 deep inhale and exhale, and then you can set everything down onto the ground. From here, tuck your toes and straighten your legs, making your way into a downward facing dog. Settle in your down dog and hold for 1 deep inhale. And another deep exhale, releasing everything out. On your next inhale, raise your right leg all the way up behind you, heel pointed up, toes pointed down. Keep those hips even. From three-legged dog, bend your right knee and bring it in towards your nose, curling inwards. On an inhale, come back into three-legged dog and then bring your heel towards your glute 2 times by bending your leg. Straighten it back into three-legged dog and then come back into your abdominal curl, knee to nose. Lift it back up, three-legged dog, and then bend your knee twice, kicking your heel towards your glute. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift your leg back up and then kick that heel towards the glute 2 times. Take the whole sequence one final time on the right side. Bring your knee to your nose. Take an exhale here. On an inhale, lift the leg back up into three-legged dog and bring your heel to your glute 2 times by keeping it up and just bending your knee. Set the foot down into downward facing dog, and then on your next inhale, raise your right leg back up and step it forward in between your hands. Stay high on the ball of your back foot and raise your torso and your arms up, coming into high lunge on the right side. Staying in high lunge, bend your left knee and hover it just above the ground about 1 inch, and then straighten it back into high lunge. We'll do this about 8 times. So bend that back knee, hover it above the ground, and then raise it back into high lunge. Keeping the rest of your body stable in high lunge, so keep bending through that right leg, and you're working the quads here by bending and straightening your back leg. Getting ready to come into your final knee dips here. One last one on the 8th one. Straighten up into high lunge and then bring your hands down to frame your front foot and step back into a downward facing dog once again. Hold down dog for a moment and breathe. Take an inhale, raise your left leg up, three-legged dog. Curl the knee towards the nose, then take another inhale, straighten that leg, and then tap your heel in towards your glute 2 times. Straighten that leg, three-legged dog. Bend your knee in towards your nose, abdominal curl. Inhale, straighten the leg, three-legged dog, and bend the leg, heel towards the glute 2 times. Once more. Exhale, curl the knee towards the nose, abdominal curl. Inhale, three-legged dog. Bend the left leg, heel to glute 2 times. Taking this sequence one final time. Exhale, curl the knee to the nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Tap the heel towards the glute 2 times. Straighten your leg out into three-legged dog and step that foot forward in between your hands, knee directly above your ankle, and raise your torso up into a high lunge. Coming into our knee dips, bend your right knee, hover it above the ground, and then straighten it up into a high lunge. Once more, dip that knee down and come into high lunge. We'll repeat this for about 8 repetitions, continuing to bend and straighten your right leg, maintaining your high lunge with the rest of your body. Just a few more rounds like this. Dipping that knee down and lifting it back up. Take one final one on your 8th one, and then place your hands down to frame your front foot, step back into a plank, and then bring your hips up and back into downward facing dog. From down dog, set your knees down onto the ground. Touch your big toes together behind you and sit your hips back onto your heels. Relax over in a child's pose. Take a deep breath in and release it out. Slowly on an inhale, come all the way up to a seated position and swing your legs around, making your way onto your back. Bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. Bring your heels in towards your hips. Place your palms flat on the ground next to you. Take an inhale. And we'll come into bridge pose by lifting your hips all the way up, coming into an arch. From here, roll onto the outer edges of your arms and clasp your hands together underneath you, or you can take hold of the outer edges of your mat with your hands and use your grip on the mat to help you lift those hips up into an arch. While you're in your bridge, remain here and breathe. Feel the front of your body stretching out, especially the hips and the quads a little bit. And from here, unclasp your hands, roll out from underneath your arms, and lower your hips back down. Take your right leg, cross your right ankle over your left top thigh. Take hold of the hamstring behind the left leg and hug your knees in towards your chest. Breathe and feel the hamstring, glutes stretching. The outer edge of your right leg is stretching as well. You can even use your right arm on your right leg to help it turn out just a bit more if that's comfortable for you. And slowly release your hands from your legs from here and lower your right foot down onto the floor, coming into a twist. Reaching your right arm out to the right and looking over that hand as you twist your lower body to the left. Feel free to close your eyes if you'd like. You can relax here in your twist, beginning to wind yourself down And slowly come back to center, or move your right leg from your left and switch sides. Left ankle over right thigh. Hug in your knees by placing your hands behind your right leg. Breathe here. Where I did my training, they called this thread the needle. Other places refer to another pose as thread the needle. So if I say thread the needle in any future videos, this is what I mean. So from here, place your foot down and then twist your bottom lower half of your body to the right, placing the bottom of your left foot on the ground and twisting your upper body to the left, bringing your left arm stretched out to the side. And as you can see, I'm using my right hand on my left thigh to keep my knee in line with my ankle. Slowly unwind yourself from your twist now. Remove your ankle from your thigh. Hug both knees in towards your chest and hold here for a breath. Release your hands from your legs. You can take Shavasana if you'd like, or roll yourself up and come to a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today on day 1 of the 10 for 10 Yoga Challenge. See you tomorrow for day 2. Namaste.